Good morning from Bali. It is another beautiful day here in Ubud, Bali. Greg and I are sitting by the pool, but you can't see it right now because it's overexposed.
But it is very nice.
It is very nice. And today we want to talk to you about working with your significant other.
Yes, the negatives, the positives, and a little bit about the retreat that we've been hosting here in Bali.
I want to start off with an introduction because for those of you who don't know us, Greg and I have been working and traveling location independently for about 2 years now.
Yes, from September 1st. So 2 years and 2 weeks.
And even though we do try and work together every once in a while, we also have our separate jobs. So I work as a social media manager, location independently, and Greg works as a travel photographer and videographer. So let's start off with the negatives. What do you think are the most negative things about working with your significant other, especially me?
Yeah, not especially you. I think there's a couple of general stereotypes about working with your partner, and one of them is probably spending too much time together. So when you're working and traveling all the time, you tend to be around each other a lot, and there isn't like the separation of maybe a normal routine where a couple both have their own full-time jobs. They leave in the morning, they don't see each other for 8 hours, they come home in the evening, and then they're distracted by their kids, they have to make dinner, and the only quality time they actually spend together is maybe 1 or 2 hours before going to bed. We're the opposite. We spend a lot of time together. So we're with each other, it's like 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you need to kind of separate your privacy and your independence while you're with each other for work and travel.
And that can be difficult, especially if you only have hotel rooms that are not a big house. You can't like go into one room, the other person goes in another room. If we are traveling, we usually have a 1-bedroom apartment or like a 1-bedroom room. So it's really not a lot of space, like literally not a lot of space.
Yeah, so that's one negative.
Yeah.
I think another negative that you might be able to relate to is when you're in a working environment, there's different roles within your workplace. And when you're working with your significant other, you have to try and find a balance between like who does what and the sort of importance, I guess, of that role, so that it's not like there's a superior and an inferior. You have to be able to balance the responsibilities so that there's no additional stress created.
Absolutely. And playing into that too, there's different work behaviors or work mentalities. So one person might like to work with to-do lists, the other person might like to just go with the flow and work as they go and let creativity flow. And I think it's really important that those working mentalities or behaviors are not suppressed by the one person working with the other person.
So I think you might be able to relate with that from your own working experience.
Let us know if you do.
The third sort of negative thing we could think about for working and traveling with your significant other is the balance between personal time, like quality time, and professional time. You know, where is it that you guys are doubling down on productivity and making sure that, you know, the business is running smooth and everything's going according to plan, and then like having a romantic dinner or having a bit of time to talk about, you know, deeper things. That's, you have to find a way to separate personal time from professional time.
And I think that like normal couples who have normal lives and normal jobs do that too. Like I know some couples that actually have a rule that they wouldn't talk about work when they get home. So that's a really good one, which doesn't work for us.
No, it
We
doesn't.
talk about work all the time because it's also work and life mixes together. Like it's one thing.
But that's the negative. We have to find time to have that personal conversation as well. It's really important to think about that. So those are our 3 examples of sort of what could be a negative connotation to working and traveling with your significant other.
Yeah.
But what's next? Positives.
Let's talk about the positives. I believe that there's at least as many positive aspects about working with your significant other
I
as
would
there
hope
are
so.
negatives.
If not a lot more, I would hope.
If not a lot more. Do you want to start off or do you want me to?
No, by all means, go for it.
So yeah, when you work with your significant other, as we already mentioned, you get to spend a lot of time together. But that's also not only a negative, that's a positive, because you do get to spend quality time at work. You get to know your partner through work. So that can also strengthen your relationship, because you get to know what your partner is sensitive to, you get to know how your partner works. And
what they're good at.
Exactly, and that transfers to your private life. So yeah, overall you get to know your partner better, and that can strengthen your relationship.
Yes, I also think that if you spend a lot of time together, you're working with each other and you're traveling together, you can create your own free time. So what we were saying earlier with the negatives of needing to separate quality personal time from professional time, if you schedule your work with one another, you're able to create freedom. And that, to me, freedom is one of the most important things about being an entrepreneur and running my own business. Was always this idea in North America that you only get 2 weeks of vacation was so hard for me to understand. I always wanted to have more freedom, to be able to travel, to see the world. And with us working together, we can schedule both of our working times, especially because we're location independent, around going to countries like Albania and Japan and Madagascar, and being able to kind of plan your free time with your professional time. So when you're together, it's a positive that you're able to do that a lot easier. And in our case, we're able to create a lot more free time than I would be able to if we had normal jobs.
Yeah, and especially for like weddings or family get-togethers too, it's really makes it easier because we don't have to ask our employer. How many weeks do you think a year do we have free time?
Vacation, probably at least like 6, maybe not 8, longer. 2 months minimum. So at least, but then again, we're always kind of working while we're on vacation.
We film videos while we have free time, and many people would think that that's work, and other people would think it's not. So.
Yeah. Anyway, that's definitely a positive, is being able to schedule your own time.
Especially in Greg and my case, because we're both video creators, it makes a lot of sense to be able to share your content with the other person. So we benefit hugely from the point that we work together occasionally, because we get to share our video content from destinations and get to use that in each other's video.
Yeah,
so I think that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, you also help me a lot with Instagram stories. So Nellie's really good at taking the photos that I make on assignment and sort of integrating them into Instagram, because that's what she does for her own clients. So for her being able to sort of take over that role while we're on assignment together for like a hotel or a destination is a great way of sharing content and sharing responsibility to be able to produce a better result while you're, in the field working. Now that's a very professional side of things, but the sharing also helps for our own personal lives. So staying relevant on social media, updating our websites, we're able to help each other by taking photos and taking B-roll of one another.
That's an important part too. Like you might have noticed that my Instagram pictures all look amazing.
Yeah, because I'm an Instagram husband.
Exactly,
that's my
and
role.
a professional one on top of that.
So it's really important that you have that when you're traveling and living together, that you're able to share the content that you create. I think it would be a lot harder for a couple that were living together and traveling together if one of them, wasn't sort of integrated into the other's work. Like imagine you had completely separate jobs. It would be so much harder. So I think a big benefit of living and working together is that we're in the same industry.
We understand each other's work. We understand each other's needs towards work. And that's huge, I believe. Yep. Like also in situations where we struggle, where one of us is really down or like exhausted, it's way easier to talk to your partner about it if he or she understands what you're going through
and can relate. So those are a few of the negatives and the positives of working and traveling with their significant other. And now it's time to talk a little bit more about the retreat here in Bali and what's coming up next.
If you don't know what we're doing here in Bali or what we have been doing for the last couple of weeks, we have been running a photo and video workshop / retreat together with BBS. And if you want to know what that looks like, you can also check out one of my last videos. I'm talking more in depth about what to expect from those workshops and what we're doing there. So We wanted to reflect a little bit on this workshop and yeah, talk about how we work together and how we think it went.
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So the video retreat is done now. Sadly, it was a really exciting experience and fun to have the first inaugural here in Bali. And we did a lot of work leading up to it, organization. So trying to figure out what the itinerary would be, what sessions we would hold, how we were going to provide the meals and like coffee and drinks and the transportation and the entrances to the attractions, etc. So we did a lot of that together. And Nelly helped me design a full itinerary for the whole week, based on the days and the dates and what we'd be doing for sunrise, sessions during the day, lunchtime, sessions in the afternoon or activities, and then sunset. So that was a whole, like basically an itinerary that you made, which is amazing. So we really supported each other there.
Yeah, and I think definitely your ability your experience as a tour leader was one of the main like skills leading up to the workshop, organizing it all that I could never have done without you. But I think we were able to work together in the sense that Greg had all the experience and I was able to help put that into a structured plan because I'm German. No, but because I like organization and I like plans, I like to-do lists. We were able to pinpoint it down and put it into a structure that makes sense, into a timetable that made sense for the workshop. And I think that worked out really well. We had those little sheets prepared and participants really liked it, and I think for us it was easier that way too. Yeah,
once you got that base, from there it's just following the itinerary, going every day, day by day, managing the expectations and experience of everyone involved, and we had an awesome time.
Yeah.
And that means it's happening again. So, drum roll, we are not announcing in this video.
No.
It is going to be announced on Wednesday. And that's going to be done on my channel, so be sure to go and check that out.
Just a few days from now.
But we have decided on where it's going to be and when it's going to be, and it is going to be the next video retreat workshop experience. It's going to be happening a year from now in October 2020. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out my channel on Wednesday.
And we are really looking forward to that. In the sense that we will be working together again, and in the sense that we will hopefully be working with you and together with you and create awesome content. So all of that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any comments on working with your significant others or questions, then please drop them below this video. That's it for this video. There will be one more video from Bali, and then after that it is Japan for us. So stay tuned for that. And New country.
Sorry to interrupt, but
that's all right.
I'm very excited about Japan.
But definitely stay tuned for that, and I hope to see you in one of the next videos. Bye bye.
And don't mention the pool. No need.
Why not?
Because they want to see the pool, but they don't see the pool.
Well, then I can just put a shot of the pool in there.
You know what you want to say for the negatives?
No, I don't.
There you go. That's our issue. We need to write down 3 points for negatives, 3 points for positives, and talk about the retreat.
Okay, I can't do this. Like, if you want to take over this video, then I can't do it.
I don't want to take it over.
Greg and I have been working and traveling location independently.
Together.
Location independent.